So we've done some rearranging since our last garden tour. So over here now, it used to be all berries, but this is now the sunflower section. So we have mammoth sunflowers here. There's three nice sized one. And then over here we have the red sun sunflower. Of course, we're growing these so it can help attract some pollinators, bring some beauty to the garden, and also hopefully we can harvest some later. And right next to that is our berries. We really have blueberries and blackberries and raspberries over here. Of course, we have to cover these up because of the birds. They've been getting to, they really haven't been getting to the blackberries, mostly just the blueberries. Let me get this netting up a little bit so that we can see a little better in here. Okay, so this is much better. Now we can actually see our berries. So we have a Duke blueberry plant over here, and you can pretty much see how that's coming along. It's got blueberries, not a lot, but it's enough. And this one here, this one is another pink lemonade blueberry tree, and it's so far it's not really doing much, but it's still a young tree, so we understand why. And same thing with the other one back there. And this is the emerald here. You can see how that's doing. That's doing pretty good. I mean, they're really small berries that grow on this plant. That's just the type of berries that they grow. They're really tiny. And over here we have blackberries. So we have plenty of blackberries growing all over here. There's at least 5 blackberry plants in this crowd here. So, and over here there's more on the back side. And there, I mean, there's not a lot, but they're definitely starting to show. But my favorite of all of these plants is this raspberry here. And this is the fall gold raspberry. And you can take a look at that. Look at that beautiful fruit. Again, this is the fall gold raspberry. It has a really sweet taste. And it doesn't taste anything to me like a regular raspberry. It actually has its own taste, and it's delicious. It actually spoiled me for all other raspberries. It's like its own fruit to me. Here's a regular raspberry plant here, and you can see they're regular red raspberries. This is a Glencoe, and I mean, yeah, they have a decent taste to them, but they're not as sweet as the fall gold. So just in case you're looking for something new to grow, or if you can find the fall gold raspberry, that is something you definitely want to put in your garden. And right next to my raspberries, this is the potatoes. I don't know if you remember the last time we've seen this, but it was not this much foliage. So the potatoes are looking really good. The flowers have started. And right next to them we have some watermelon and actually some carrots in here too. So you can see these ones that look like snowflakes. These are the carrots. There's some carrots over there. There's one over here. So if you look around, you see some carrots popping up pretty much everywhere, and some random watermelon. Now, funny thing is, we don't really know what type of watermelon this is. I think we ended up throwing some seeds in here by accident, or threw some old watermelon in here and it accidentally ended up seeding. So this is where the watermelon came from. So we're calling these our mystery melons. There's 1, 2, and 3. So we're excited to see what these end up being. Right next to the melons and the carrots, we have Pepper Lane. This is all of our peppers, well, at least our adult peppers. And we have a huge variety here. Right here is our biggest one. That is a jalapeno, and another jalapeno right in front of it. This one right here is banana peppers. And right next to that one is, we have some Anaheim peppers growing here. You can see the Anaheims. There's another one and another one there. And right next to that one, this is the Big Bertha bell pepper. So they're gonna get bigger, but this plant, once this plant gets big and takes off, these bell peppers are gonna be huge. And over here is another Big Bertha bell pepper. Right back there, that is a Santa Fe Grande. These right here. This one here is a Serrano. These are Serrano hot peppers. They're almost look like chili peppers. And right over here is our Tabasco. So we have, look at all of this Tabasco growing here. We have Gypsy sweet peppers back there. So like I said, we're growing all types of peppers. This is a regular bell pepper tree, green bell pepper, lunchbox red peppers we're gonna have here. This is gonna be habanero. And back here, I think that's another green bell pepper tree. You can see the bell peppers right there. And this is a very interesting one here. This is the Chinese 5. I actually bought this from a lady in the back of her truck. She was selling these on next to the street, and she had them for $3 a tree, a plant. And they were like maybe 6 inches tall when I bought it. And now look at it now. So this is the Chinese 5. So I'm very excited to see what this ends up looking like. And over here we have some small red bell pepper trees, plants. So they'll end up growing these really tiny bell peppers. They'll end up turning green first and then turn red. You can pick them while they're green, or you can let them turn red, but they're really nice looking peppers. And here's more. This is a green bell pepper. That's the red bell pepper. These are the big gem peppers here. And down here is some more small red bell peppers. And to finish it off, we have a Mad Hatter pepper plant here. So this is, like I said, we have a huge variety of peppers that we're growing. And to top it all off, we have some chives sitting in there. Hopefully that can keep some of these pests away from eating holes into our leaves. Good thing with peppers is you don't really have a lot of pests that actually eat into the peppers, but you will get a few every now and then, but not much. So you really just have to worry about the leaves, and of course the leaves keep your plants nice and strong. So we have some chives in there. We're gonna end up putting some something else in there later, maybe some marigolds or something. But yeah, so this is Pepper Lane, and it's coming along really good. I know this is what you all been waiting for here. So this is our lettuce bed. The last time you seen this, they were just little babies, teenagers. Now these things are almost full adults. So you see, this is all lettuce in here. Take a look at what we got going. This nice green leafy lettuce. We can eat lettuce all month, or at least the next couple of months with this harvest here. And right next to the lettuce we have collards, and these are our Georgia Southern collards. And you look at, they're growing nice and rich, nice and tall. And you can see we had some caterpillar problems at one point, but we sprayed with BT Thuricide, and so far they haven't come back. It's almost time for us to spray again. But these are our Georgia Southern collards, and they are looking nice. We actually have a few more collards back here. And this right here, of course, is our cucumbers that we planted. We planted a row of cucumbers right along the edge next to this trellis. So the goal is to get these cucumbers to grow up this trellis, and so far so good. So far I haven't had to even do anything. It's pretty much working its way up, and that's pretty much the plan so far. And right next to that is our onion patch. This is Tasha's favorite part. She wanted it shaped like a lip, so that's what we got going on here. And we have a grape. This is a Catawba grape. It's not growing grapes this year. It's actually a new one I just bought. We have a beefsteak tomato plant here, but this isn't even the tomato section. It's just a random tomato plant. Here's another grape. You can see it's trying to grow some grapes there. I'm not sure why it's taking so long with this one. And there's another grape there, and actually another grape there as well. So none of these are growing this year. But over here, you can see these grapes are doing really good, actually. So this plant is covered with grapes. So we're not doing too bad, not looking too shabby there. And there is one more grape plant that I forgot over here, and it's doing really well also. These are the Niagaras, and like I said, these trees, once these grape plants start to grow grapes, they really take off. So these Niagaras are doing real good. I might end up getting another one this year. All right, so this is one of Tasha's favorite sections here. This is our tomato section, and you can see it stretches quite a bit down that way. And so starting off with our biggest plant, this is the Celebrity hybrid tomato here. You can see we have one starting to ripen down there, but these things get to a really nice size. There's over 10 tomatoes growing on this one here. Definitely way more than 10, probably about 15 or more on this one tomato plant there. And right next to it here, this one is the Better Boy tomato. It's starting to grow some, you know. It doesn't have as much as the other trees, but it's definitely doing something, you can see. So that's the Better Boy. Right next to that is the Super Sweet 100s. Now this is really taking off. You see it has plenty of tomatoes growing. Almost every branch has tomatoes of some sort growing. Again, this is the Super Sweet 100s. It's really taking off. And right behind it is a plant that just won't stop growing. This thing here, it just won't stop growing upwards. And that is the Big Boy tomato. So that Big Boy tomato plant just won't stop growing upwards. It's tall as all heck, and it only has about 5 tomatoes on there. Right next to that one, which one is that? That is the Bonnie Original. And so far we have 3 nice sized tomatoes and a couple of baby ones starting up. So that is the Bonnie. Right in front of that one, this one is the Roma. So you can see how that one's doing. And you have the grape tomatoes right here, looking really nice. They're clustered up just like grapes. And there's also growing almost every level. So like I said, some of these tomato plants, especially the grape types, do really well. And there's a Juliet grape one here right next to that one, and you can see how that one is doing. That one's also doing really well on every level. Oh, you thought it was over? It's still doing well. So these guys here are doing really good. And back there is a smaller Celebrity. and you can see how that's doing. Now the thing about this side here, this section, are all tomatoes that we bought from Lowe's at some point. And then this one too. But from here on over are all tomatoes that we've grown ourselves. So we're gonna start with, we already did the Chinese 5. We actually got that from someone. But we'll start with the beefsteaks. The beefsteaks here, you can see, all right, they're not as big as the other ones that we just looked at, but they are flowering and they are starting to grow tomatoes. So again, these are the ones that we grew ourselves from seed. And these over here are all beefsteaks. We have, let's go ahead and count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 beefsteak plants for tomatoes here. And this is a spearmint right next to it. Just shake that and you can get the whole garden smelling really, really nice. And that also helps keep away certain pests. So especially with the tomatoes, you really, really need that. So we're gonna end up putting some marigolds around here as well. There's some down there on the ground, but we're gonna have to separate those and bring some down here. And over here is some more that we planted. These are the cherry tomatoes. There's 1, 2, 3, and there's actually 2 more around here somewhere that I moved around. But there's about 5 of the cherry tomatoes. So, and then like I said, there's one of the beefsteaks over there that's hiding. So, in the corn, we have corn growing. These growing out of the ground. You see all these green ones here. These are corn. So in about a month or so, these things are going to be really tall. But you can see the corn that's growing out of here, growing right through the mulch. That's another cherry tomato right there. Not sure how I missed that, but that's pretty much the tomato section. This right here is another one of Tasha's favorite sections. This is the cucumber section. So you can see I kind of built the homemade trellis for it. So what I did is I just ran 2 pieces of wood straight across, and then I ran these bamboo shoots up. And basically each plant has its own bamboo shoot that it just grows up and around. And as it grows up and around, I kind of help it stick to the shoot. And you can see how tall these things are now. And they're actually growing some decent size cucumbers. Pretty much every plant right now is cucumbering. So yeah, feel free to steal this trellis idea, but this was something I just thought of, and it works out really, really well. I think we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cucumber plants in this one section. Now for one of my favorite sections, this is the melon section here. So we're gonna start you off with the sugar babies. So these 2 rows right here are all sugar babies. These 2 rows right here are all crimson sweet watermelons. This row here, this is the Hale's Best melons. I think this is also, yeah, this is also Hale's Best melons here. All those yellow cups, that's also Hale's Best melons. We have Honey Rock Cantaloupe right here. This is also a Honey Rock Cantaloupe in that green tub. And I think this is a Congo. This is a Congo watermelon here. This is another Honey Rock Cantaloupe. And this is another Honey Rock Cantaloupe. We have some Jubilee melons here, some small baby ones. And what kind of melons are these? We have all sweet. We have all sweet watermelons growing up here. So pretty much you can see we have plenty of melons growing. There has to be over 40 melons out here, if not more. So we have plenty of melons for the summer. All right, so as you know, we bought a lot of trees this year. I think we have about 8 trees, and we bought a new tree, so we have 9 trees now. So let's go ahead and see how those are doing. Let's start off with the older trees that we've had. So these are our apple trees here. So the one in the box, this is the Fiji apple, and so far it has 2 apples on it. Obviously these trees are still young, probably about between 2 to 3 years old, so it's not gonna have a crazy amount of fruit, but the fact that it's still growing fruit at this age is really, really good. So this one here that we just looked at, this is the Dorset golden apple, starting to grow. And this one over here is a cameo apple. I know there's some up here somewhere. Okay, here we go. So these are our cameo apples here. And this is actually a new plum tree that we just bought like 2 days ago. It's called a Bruce plum, as you can see. Doesn't have anything on there yet, but hopefully by next year we'll be able to see some fruit from that tree. Over here is another apple tree. Is this a Gala? Yeah, this is the Gala apple here. So far, there's no apples on this one, but same thing. Hopefully next year we get some apples. Right next to that one is our pear tree. Same thing, no fruit yet, but hopefully by next season we'll have some pears. And come over here, you can follow us and see our peach trees. So we have peaches on this one here. Plenty of peaches on this one. They're real small, but they're gonna get bigger. And on this one here, we have some more peaches. So here's another one of our plum trees here. It is pretty much our tallest plum tree. You can see it's above our trellis. And right over here behind Tasha is another plum tree. And this is the Rosa plum. You can actually see 2 plums on this one growing. So we keep these on the side of the house next to the tomatoes and other plants. And while we're over here, this is one of our seedling sections where we keep our young plants. And we actually germinate some seeds down here. It keeps it real cool on these shelves and on this umbrella. It makes it a nice little area to germinate. We have some corn over there, some black diamond watermelon, hot salsa peppers, okra. We have more lettuce growing. We have some sweet white Spanish onions growing back there. We have some more romaine lettuce. Look at that. Forgot we had that. And then we have I actually need to replant these ASAP. These are marigolds. I need to replant these marigolds as soon as possible. These are some pepper plants that we're probably not going to use. We just planted way too many pepper plants this year. So we covered these here. Some more things that we sowed. These are golden hope melons and chives over here. And right behind that, as if we didn't have enough seedlings and young plants, we have a whole section of young plants up and coming here. This whole section here is cherry tomatoes. We're probably gonna end up giving half of that away because we just have way too many tomatoes as is. This one over here, if I'm not, what kind is this one? Oh yeah, these are our mystery tomatoes. These are tomatoes that we've planted and we forgot what they were. We planted so much stuff, so we're gonna be surprised to see what these end up being anyways. And here, our lemon cucumbers, we decided to try some this year. we've never had them before, so we can't find them in the stores. They're pretty interesting, so we decided to try some this year. And here's two more over there. Here's some of our Big Jim peppers. All of these right here are Big Jim peppers. Again, we're gonna end up giving most of these away. We have too many peppers. What's this corn doing? This is the corn section. We have a whole corn section down there in the ground, but we're also gonna try growing some corn in pots just like this one. We just want to see how it does compared to the ones in the ground, and we'll go from there in the future depending on our results. Back here, some more pepper plants. These are small red bell peppers. Again, we might end up giving those away too. We just have way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. Here's some basil that we have to transplant and then spread those around the garden for the smell and also to keep the little pests away. And then, of course, eventually we end up harvesting a little basil, you know. So moving right along, we have to go show you our strawberries. So over here is our strawberry section. So we have three big strawberry plants, as you can see, and they are growing strawberries. They're not as big, but they're definitely sweet. And what these cups are is I'm actually these runners here. I'm actually growing these runners off into these cups. That way, once they take root on its own, I can just cut these right there, and I'll basically be multiplying my strawberries. See up here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cups on this one plant. So I'm basically multiplying this one plant by 5 as soon as they're done. I can probably cut these right now and it'll become its own plant. Pretty much like this one. I made this one, I cut this one like last week, and it's already sending out its own runner. So it's ready to clone itself already. So pretty much you can make an infinite amount of strawberries on your own. You only need to buy one strawberry plant, and they send these little runners out, and you just put that in some soil in another cup, and it'll start to grow. And then you cut that, I call it an umbilical cord. You cut that, and then it becomes its own plant. So yeah, we start off with just 3 of these big plants, but now we have probably 15 cups with strawberries growing. I almost forgot that we have 3 more watermelon over here. This is an heirloom watermelon here. This is the Black Diamond watermelon, and this is another Congo. So stick around and see these things grow. One of our last sections is our section with our Dollar Tree stackable pots that we tried out. So as you can see, we're growing lettuce in here. We're growing spinach, and also I think she's growing collards. I think these were collards here, but they really got eaten up before we actually got to them with the BT Thericide. So we're just gonna let those go, bolt, whatever. But so far we're focusing more on, we have spinach leaves down here, and we have lettuce that's starting to grow. So you can see how nice and healthy these look without being eaten up too much. And the lettuce is also looking nice. So we're gonna focus more on this section. We're gonna do mostly spinach and lettuce. So over here by our small shed is another blueberry section. So we had to cover these up as well, but I took the cover off so I can shoot this video. Birds definitely got to this one. I had this, especially this one here, was covered with deep purple fruit, but the birds got to it. And now it's just got young fruit on there now. So you can see all these blueberries. This is a legacy blueberry here. This also had a lot of berries that look more like this one, but we literally covered this yesterday because we just noticed that the birds have been eating all of our ripe berries. And this is a southern high bush. They spared this one a little bit more, and it has a lot of berries still on this one. And over here is a powder blue blueberries. This one barely has anything. I think it had maybe 4 left on there before they got to it. So this is our last blueberry section here. I'm gonna go ahead and cover these back up before those birds get back to it. So that is it, folks. That is the tour. Thank you again for checking out our garden. Again, this is Prince and Tasha's garden. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in for another video.